Nigga. Oh, there we go.
It takes a second.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Smooth Order. Welcome to NWAP, Negroes with a Podcast, Season 5, Episode 9. I am the no longer marijuana weed brownie version Smooth Order.
I'm Tunde, Talk 7.
Lextopia. I am the opposite of what Smooth Order is.
You can't be them. Are you so you've never had an edible before?
I think she's saying she's high.
No.
You never had an edible?
Oh, whoops.
Right,
then maybe I didn't understand because I agree with Tunde right now.
How you gonna be the opposite of me no longer being a virgin? Loser.
I tried to be. What I thought I was saying is that I had an edible last night, and I looked in the mirror, and I thought I was Mystique from X-Men because I saw blue stuff in my eyes.
Okay, that I
but
don't
continue.
know. That's cocaine, nigga. I don't know. Just a reminder, of course, you can find us on Google, Stitcher, and iTunes and all that stuff. But we're also on Spotify. I feel like we don't say that enough, which was like a huge, I don't know if it's a huge accomplishment, but we did try to get on Spotify for a while, and they finally let a nigga on, and then we forgot to keep it. So you can definitely listen to this podcast on Spotify. We will add that to the drop in the beginning because I'm actually supposed to record the new drop, and I have not done that yet. So we'll make sure that you know about that next time. So we're bringing back.
They'll hear it on this episode.
You said what?
They'll hear it on this episode.
They will hear it. I hope they will hear it on this. Don't make no promises, nigga. I mean, don't put no time on.
I'm making a promise.
Y'all funny.
Set people up for disappointment. All right, so we bringing back the old format today. A lot of shit happened within the last 4 days. I feel like
a lot of shit happened. So
we're bringing back the old format. We're gonna start off with, what I'm saying, Negroes with a story, or story time with a Negro. Hit the news, hit some pop culture, and then end up with barbershop talk. If you've never heard us do that format before, must be a super new listener. So welcome to the old format. And if you've been a long time listener, then you are already familiar with the format. So get ready, niggas, and not as well. So, at the beginning of the podcast, I said that I am no longer an edible virgin, and I have a story about that. So last week, or by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be like 2 weeks or whatever, I went to see my friend Lauren get waiting. Shout out to Sir Tunde and Lowski 007. Niggas was wild fancy, wild fancy. First of all, they had two weddings the same weekend. They had a traditional Nigerian wedding, and they had a white wedding on Saturday. So the traditional Nigerian wedding was on Friday, and then the white wedding was on Saturday. So before I talk to you about this edible, I need to talk to you about the Nigerian wedding. I felt like I was in church. I felt like all the years that I have not gone to church and was in a deficit with Jesus have now been fulfilled thanks to this Nigerian wedding. It was a lot of prayer. It's a lot of praising God.
Yeah, Nigerians are very religious people.
You're like the only Nigerian that I know, and you're pretty much a godless motherfucker. So I had no idea.
Damn. I believe in God. Jeez.
I know you believe in God, but I don't never hear you talk about no religion or nothing like that. So I'm not saying that you are the one representative for all Nigerian people across the universe, but you kind of are. So, whatever.
I mean, when I get married, just know that it's going to be a lot of that too, just because I'm having that traditional Nigerian wedding as well. So it's going to be a lot of that too.
Are you going to invite me to your wedding?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
That's great. I'll definitely. I had Joel off for the first time, but let me not get ahead of myself. We're gonna get to that in a second. So they did the Nigerian wedding on Friday, and it was a lot of prayer. They had 2 women emceeing the wedding or whatever. So they did if I don't remember everything that happened, which we'll get into that too, but they did the introduction of the families and accepting each other's families, or an introduction to the families and stuff like that. Everybody had on the Nigerian folks had on traditional Nigerian garb, so that was really cool to see. Niggas was decked out, it felt like Coming to America 2018 in that bitch. Like they was super decked out. So that was really cool to watch. Like, cause I don't go to weddings. So I've never seen anything like that in my life. And it was really, really cool. And then they had like they had food. They had like jollof and like goat and fish and a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't pronounce. The jollof was like off the fucking chain.
Can I make an interjection?
Sure.
Nigerians have the best jollof rice in all of Africa.
I knew that was coming.
Anyone who's listening to this podcast, Ghana, Sierra Leone, y'all shit is trash. Our shit is the best.
Jesus Christ. You about to start a fucking the jollof rice. Is it jollof rice or just
jollof?
Jollof? Is it just jollof or jollof rice?
Either way, we know what you're talking about. It's jollof rice, but you know what we're talking about.
Nah, man, they be scrapping about that shit on Twitter. Like that's a real
because like especially Sierra Leone, they make that fake jambalaya ass shit. Nah, all you need is peppers to put in your shit and you're good.
I just want everybody to know that this is Tunde's opinion. I have
right. Top 7, not NWAP cast.
This is NWAP cast's opinion.
No,
as a whole.
The Tunde's the spokesperson. Y'all can yell at that nigga. But yeah, so like the wedding on Friday was like an open bar. I was lit. I was drinking up everything. But I was cool though. So Friday was cool. So Saturday at the white wedding was at I was in Dallas for the wedding. So they were at like City Place, which had a beautiful view. They was on the 42nd floor. Niggas was doing it super big, right? So one of the groomsmen who I follow on Twitter or whatever, he cool or whatever. So he like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I got party treats or whatever like that. I'm like, party treats? What the fuck is you talking about? Nigga handed me a brownie. He was like, look, do not eat this whole brownie, right? Just, pace yourself. And usually, like I've heard about people having like very, very strange experiences on edibles or whatever. So like I've always been curious, but I've never been like curious enough to take one, let alone curious enough to take one in public where other people can see me. And I was right to have that fear because I took half the edible on Saturday at the white wedding when the reception started. And then maybe like an hour later, or maybe like 30 minutes later, I took the other half. Nigga.
30 minutes later?
Nigga.
What?
Before you started feeling it?
I had a whole...
Everybody does this.
In 30 minutes. So listen, right? So when I took the first half of the brownie, I was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I was real mellow. I was real chill. Like I've been drinking and stuff too. So like I was in like a good space. And I took the other half. And like, I don't know if I got higher, but like there are certain parts of Saturday that I absolutely do not remember. Like somebody was telling me about some of the stuff that was happening, and I was like, I don't remember any of that. Okay. What I do remember was I was dancing to the electric slide, right? Line dancing shit or whatever. So I'm thinking I'm killing it. Like, nigga, I'm putting all kinds of extra juke moves on the shit or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going the fuck off or whatever. They played Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. Nigga, I was jumping up and down, screaming, doing all the raps and all that shit or whatever like that, right? So I'm having a time of my fucking life. No, not a single worry in the world. I get up on Sunday morning, and my man Chef Waits hits me. He's like, yo, you can't dance for shit. What the fuck you mean, nigga? What you mean I can't dance? Somebody pulled up the Instagram of me dancing to the electric slide. Dog, I was dancing in a fucking circle. Like everybody doing the line dance, and it's like me off in the corner, like doing the electric slide in one spot. It's like I was like, wow, what was I doing? Why am I that? I don't even look like I can dance. This is a fucking travesty. But I had an amazing time. It's probably like the most fun that I've had all year.
Where's the footage though?
You like Dance Fever?
Nigga, ain't no footage.
No, where's the footage? I'm gonna ask Big G.
Nah, he said he deleted it. So he
didn't delete it. Come on, you've watched enough movies to know how that goes.
He's like, nah, I couldn't even. No, because he tagged me to it before, and I had it in my Instagram box. I tried to go back and watch it. It's not there no more. So he might still have it on his phone, but he ain't got it on Instagram no more. Which
that's what I meant.
Shout out to Chef. He did your boy a solid because it was a real bad look. But yeah, man, I had like the best time of my life. Like that shit was super awesome, man. So shout out to Tunde and Lo. Congratulations on y'all nuptials and shit. And yeah.
But did you have two suits? Because you was dressed up almost like you was the groom one day.
Oh no! So on Friday, the traditional Nigerian wedding, we just had to wear like a it's just like a shirt and some slacks or whatever like that. So I
Oh,
just
okay.
had some slacks, and then on Saturday, it was formal wear. So she was like, it was like black tie.
Damn.
I saw her. I was looking at her Instagram story, and she was like, some people showed up like wearing tennis shoes. And apparently the wedding planner was like, "Nah, you gotta go." Like, like why would you?
Her wedding coordinator wasn't playing. Her wedding coordinator was absolutely escorting niggas out. Like, you got to go.
Like, why would you even show up if it says formal wear in the invitation? Why would you even show up with like sneakers on?
Niggas is,
I don't know.
Niggas don't be following instructions, man.
Well,
like
they figured it out when they got there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bad place to figure it out, right? I hope you was from Dallas when you figured that out, because if you flew in and then you didn't figure it out, it's not a good look. But damn, what was I talking about before you said something?
You electrosliding in a circle and you had a great time. The time of your life.
You're talking about the suit. Yeah, so it was formal wear on Saturday, so you had to wear a tuxedo or whatever. But she said that you could wear like it just had to be a dark color or whatever. So it could be black, it could be gray, it could be blue or whatever like that. So I chose blue because I figured most niggas was gonna show up in black. That suit was fucking fire. Like, I went into Men's Warehouse like a few weeks back to go get the suit or get the tux or whatever. And my man's was like, yeah, that's like one of the new cuts that we got or whatever. It's like slim fitted or whatever like that. And of course, you know, Men's Warehouse they'll take your measurements, whatever, and fit it to you. Yeah, that was a nice set. I would have bought that tux if I had some money, because that shit was super nice. The wild shit was I actually got more swole from the time that they fitted me. So it was like a little bit tighter, but it was like a good tight. I was like, yeah, nigga, this.
I thought you were in the wedding when I saw that picture on Instagram.
I'm not going to tell you how many times people text me. It was like, did you get married over the weekend? I was like, no.
Right. It looked like you was the groom.
Looking at these pictures and like, you're the only person that's dressed differently from everybody else. I was like, nah, nigga, I'm just fly. Like, that's just how we get
right. Just fresh.
But I knew everybody was going to wear black, so I didn't want to wear black. I wanted to wear something different. I like the blue suit was super fucking nice. It was a super nice blue, had the fresh ass tie and all that. You know, that's what I was on. So that was my edible filled drunk ass weekend.
So would you do it again? Would you try another one?
Another what?
Edible.
I don't know. I feel like I got lucky, right? Because I ate the whole brownie in 30 minutes and like I basically had like a super mellow high for the rest of the night. I don't necessarily feel like you can get that twice. I feel like most people who say they eat a whole brownie in a half hour, you can't find them niggas for like 3 days and shit, because they tripping. Like, I woke up, I was completely sober. Like, I didn't have no paranoia or nothing. I think I'm good with that. Like, I don't want to push my luck.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I'll ever eat an edible again.
See? That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to be that person.
I've had one like 3 times, and each time I had one, I woke up the next day high. I don't like that.
It lasts a really long time. Yeah. Or it's that you can't really predict it too, so it's weird.
Right. So I ain't want to fuck with that.
Don't do drugs, listeners.
Right. Drugs are bad. You know what else
Although they did remove it from the DARE program. Sorry.
DARE program is trash. But you know, drugs are bad. You know what else is bad? Getting your ass kicked in a debate on live television. So, as we make our way to the news section, last night, Andrew Gillum and Ron DeSantis, gubernatorial candidates for Florida, were in a debate last night. And Andrew Gillum is a Democratic candidate. He is black. He is the current mayor of Tallahassee, and if he wins, he would be the first black governor of Florida.
Actually, I just want to make he's actually the first black candidate.
First black candidate too?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. He'd be the first black the first black gubernatorial candidate, and if he wins, he will be the first black governor in Florida's history, which, if you know anything about Florida, shouldn't surprise you. Ron DeSantis is he served in the military. He was a congressman. He retired in September. He's actually from the area that I live in now. He played on like one of the little league teams and won like the Little League World Series or some shit like that. And I only know that because they put that in every single political ad that's ever running on television. They had a debate last night, and Gillum whooped his ass. But Tunde, I know you got the governor debate, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess the clip or video clip that's going around social media is Gillum saying that
Gillum saying that
I'm not saying he's a racist, but racists think he's a racist.
Right.
And the reason why he's saying that is, one, right after Gillum won the Democratic nomination, like voters in Florida started receiving phone calls. So I'm reading this on Vox. From it says the automated calls. Well, it says the week after he won the nomination, people started receiving calls from a neo-Nazi group based in Ohio. And it says the automated calls are narrated by someone pretending to be Gillum and using an exaggerated minstrel dialect with jungle noises in the background. The calls end with a disclaimer that they were funded by the Road to Power, an anti-Semitic, white supremacist website and podcast linked to Scott Rhodes of Sandpoint, Ohio. Yeah, so like he's DeSantis. I don't think he's denounced these phone calls. Or what they call them robocalls. Pretending to be Gillum. What I don't understand is, why do people in Idaho have any like interest in what's going on in Florida outside of racism?
Well, I mean, there was that too, and then at the beginning of the thing, Ron DeSantis came out. He was like, don't vote for Gillum. We don't want to monkey this up.
Yeah. He did say that.
And people were like, that's racist. And
Right.
he's like, I'm not a racist. and what led to the comment about Gillum saying the thing about, racist. He's not saying, DeSantis is racist. He's saying that racists think DeSantis is racist. They were talking about like these speeches that DeSantis made at these, basically at these white power rallies or whatever like that. And the moderator was talking about some of the quotes of the person who was hosting these rallies. And DeSantis was like, he didn't say that before I did the speech. And the moderator was like, yes, he did. And DeSantis like, well, how the hell am I supposed to know that? Like, I don't know what everybody is saying. I will not let you slander me. I will not let the media smear me. And I was like, Gillum got this white man cussing on TV, boy. It's a bad look.
Bad look to us. But you know how they look at everything like that and be like, oh, he's powerful. Oh, he's not afraid to say what he wants to say.
Right. Because right now, I think the latest poll that I saw, I said that Gillum is like up by 12 points on DeSantis, but like it's Florida, so like you really can't put it.
Yeah. I think as of 2 days ago, it shrunk to 9 points.
Well, we'll see. What I didn't see any numbers after the debate, but I'm sure I'll catch a few of them when I go to work on Saturday. So I'll definitely be interested in what they have to say about that.
I just appreciate whoever his speech writers are and whoever has prepped him for debates, because quite frankly, these are points that always kind of come up, but it's kind of about the way you answer them. And I just like that tactic of the way he's like connecting dots in a way that like you can't really deny it, and everybody kind of understands like what he's saying. Like he's not like just making these random claims. He's like connecting the dots with the actual people who think he's racist because they support you.
Right.
Okay. Also, DeSantis, he's like very pro-Trump. And
that's like Trump's boy. Like Trump had ran their story not too long, not to cut you off, but they had ran their story not too long ago that when Trump had said that shit about the Puerto Ricans, like
that's just what I was gonna say.
And then DeSantis was like not like super supportive of it or tried to like back away from it. They were like, Trump had some beef with DeSantis because he's basically like, the only reason why you have a career is because of me. Like, how you not gonna support me when I'm saying, shit like this or whatever.
But the thing about that is DeSantis has to like distance himself from Trump, because after Hurricane Maria, like almost 150,000 Puerto Ricans have now moved to Florida. So these are technically still U.S. citizens who do have the right to vote. I mean, and they moved to a state in Florida where 150,000 votes can swing an election either way. So it's not like I don't think Puerto Ricans are going to vote for DeSantis anyway, but you want to get as many votes as you can get. But
I mean, I don't know, man, because Rick Scott, he basically has the backing of whatever the Puerto Rican voting bloc is in Florida. He basically has their backing. He put out I think he did an ad in Spanish not too long ago, because he went down to Puerto Rico after the last hurricane.
Maria.
Right, whatever the last major hurricane that hit Puerto Rico was, you know, he was down there a lot, and they were talking about it. We was talking about it at work and stuff like that. And then it came out in one of the press releases that like he has the backing of the Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. So it is smart for DeSantis to not. It was smart of DeSantis to not back Trump on those claims, but also it's kind of between a rock and a hard place, right? Like if you don't back the claims of the president, you got Trump on your neck. And if you do back the president, there's a chance that the Puerto Ricans that are now moving and living in Florida, will be voting in the election, might swing the election to somebody else. Not that I feel sorry for the motherfucker. I'm not saying that
not at all.
Observation of the facts here.
Yeah. But they have to re-register for Florida then, right? If they've moved, they have to say that's their permanent residence.
I mean, I'm not saying that they just moved. I mean, they've been moving here. Like Maria was last year. People been moving here.
Oh, geez, you're right. I'm acting like that just happened. Wow.
Okay. No, the time doesn't exist. So last week probably feel like last year and last
That
year.
is weird though, because it does feel like it was like a few months ago that they had their. Wow, I am off. Wow.
Just for context, Black Panther came out in February of this year.
Wow, that feels like 6 years ago. No, am I tripping, or does that Black Panther feels like it was at least 2 years ago?
It does. It does. When somebody
wow.
it's like, oh shit, it's still 2018 for real, isn't it?
Oh man. Okay.
I just want to point out that that there is like, if there's one thing that might make Andrew Gillum lose, is that there is an FBI inquiry into his campaign currently going on.
Hamilton ticket.
Yeah, the Hamilton tickets, and then they say he took a trip to Costa Rica with some lobbyist friends. So, yeah. I can see. I mean, I can see that kind of bringing him down with some voters in Florida, thinking that he's corrupt, even though I don't think he is. But
well, yeah, I mean, what Gillum said basically was that he hasn't been named in any of the documents or named in the investigation, and that he gotten the ticket from his brother. He didn't know that his brother had gotten it from an undercover FBI agent. So that's the story that they're going with now. I don't know how much traction it's going to get, but again, it's Florida. Like strange things happen all the time, which actually gets us into our next topic about these mail bombs that have been going out to everybody in the United States. Eric Holder got one. The Obamas got one. Joe Biden got one.
Hillary Clinton
got one. George Soros got
one.
A local a representative from Coral Springs, I can't remember her name. She got one.
So Eric Holder got a bunch of them, but all the return labels were for her name is Debbie Wasserman.
Yeah, there you
go.
So
they since they got rerouted, I think, because Eric Holder's not in office anymore, so they got rerouted to her because the return address was there. So they were discovered in her office.
Right. So they evacuated her, or they evacuated the building that she was in and stuff like that. And I saw something on I don't know if it was CNN or if it was The Hill, that they think that somebody from Florida sent the bombs, because of course somebody from Florida sent the bombs.
Florida man strikes again.
I'm trying to tell you, man, like living in this, like working in the newsroom in this state is like super fucking ridiculous, because it's like it's so much shit that happened that I read about that never makes the news or whatever. It's like, because there's really just too much shit that happens. Like it'd be some super wild, ridiculous goings-ons down here.
Yeah, I think it's so fucked up, because I mean, under the strictest definition, that's terrorism, right? Because you want to spread fear, like right ahead of the midterm elections.
Right, and you know they're gonna call it domestic terrorism. They ain't gonna call it what it is. They ain't gonna call it white terrorism, which is exactly what it is. They ain't gonna call it that. So,
can somebody tell me how that first one was discovered? Like, who was the first one to realize, oh, this is a actual bomb in here? That's what I didn't get. I didn't hear much about that, or the fact that with the other ones, where were they intercepted? Like they all actually got to the point of being delivered.
Okay, I can tell you. For Barack Obama, the package was intercepted in Washington during routine mailing screening.
Okay, so they were addressed to these people.
Yeah. Bill and Hillary Clinton, it was addressed to their actual home in New York, and it was intercepted by Secret Service during routine mail inspection. Eric Holder, hers, like I said, his was rerouted to Walterman. Maxine Waters, hers was intercepted at congressional mail screening in Maryland. And then a second package addressed to her was found at a postal facility in LA. Joe Biden discovered 2 packages at post offices in Delaware addressed to him. At least one of them had been misaddressed and returned to sender. George Soros.
Some bullshit.
Yeah. George Soros was found. They didn't say where his was found. Robert De Niro.
Damn, De Niro got one too?
Yeah. He's critical of Trump.
Trying to get our boy.
On Robert De Niro, they said police responded to a report of a suspicious package received at a non-residential building in Tribeca. It was addressed to him and had similar markings as all the other pipe bombs.
So I wonder if it was the kind that you had to like open and then it just explodes, or is this like a timed thing? Like, what was they trying to do exactly?
Trying to do in terms of what? Like they was trying to kill a nigga. What you mean?
I mean, but look, what kind of bombs were they?
But of course, they're pipe bombs.
Pipe bombs.
What does that mean?
I don't know how pipe bombs work, but I'm assuming.
You're right.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm experts, nigga. I don't know.
But I mean, like, is it like if you had opened it the wrong way, it would have tripped it?
I didn't want to Google this before I get flagged by the FBI.
I was wondering, like, what were they trying to accomplish as far as like how would this have worked? God, can you imagine being like Obama and you can't get nothing without that shit getting screened?
I mean,
wow.
Niggas be trying to kill you.
That's
why they got secret. That's why you get Secret Service protection for the rest of your life, because you know people be, oh, you a citizen, I'm about to whoop your ass. Actually, you're not.
And so, who do you think was stupid / smart enough to try to pull something like this?
Nobody.
Nobody. Speaking of, of course, your boy, Trump. He said that he pointed the finger at his opponents and said and also blamed the news media for this turbulent national political environment. So he says it's media's fault.
It's so funny. The media is reporting on him.
You can't do nothing with that.
Yeah, I've seen so many episodes of 24 and like House of Cards that stuff like this. It's weird how it's almost like it's hotter now than these TV shows. Like I saw something the other day that said House of Cards literally is like, damn, we got to rewrite half the shit because it's better in real life.
Yeah,
like that's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
they said they can't even think of nothing wild enough.
Yeah, because I mean, they just put out this story about they got the Chinese spies are listening to the President Trump's call. I'm sorry, not President Trump, to that nigga's calls, and he's talking on unsecured lines, and they're using the information that they have that they're spying on him with to manipulate him. And I'm just like,
how do you say you can't use your cell phone, but you let him and look at him in his face and let him do that? Like, if that's a breach of security, take that nigga's cell phone.
So really quickly, like I said, he blamed the media, right? And he blamed also Democrats, and he claimed that it's because they want to allow immigrants to enter the country illegally. So I would bet $100 right now to anyone who will stick his bet that if they catch this guy, he's going to be white and from this country. Like,
always.
It's not a. I'm sorry. The Mexicans aren't coming to this country making pipe bombs and mailing them to Democrats. So this is a white person from I don't know, from Tampa Bay or Jacksonville, who's fed up at the way Blake Bortles is playing, and I don't know. Like he's definitely white.
Nah, I mean, white terrorism has been going on for as long as this country has been in existence, and particularly toward Black people, which is how we're getting into this next topic with the shooting that happened in Kentucky, where this white man walked into a Kroger and killed 2 Black people. And I know Tunde has a story for that as well.
Okay, so as of this happened in Jefferson, Kentucky. So the suspect, his name is Gregory Bush, and he's in custody, obviously, because When white
They
people
always
have
take them.
guns, yeah, they take them.
They always take them alive.
Yeah. So far, they say there's no known motive. And the victims appear to be shot at random, but they were two black people. First victim is Maurice Stallard, 69, and the second victim is Vicky Jones, 67. Because it's the middle of the day, and you know people our age aren't shopping at the grocery store in the middle of the day. So they say this article, by the way, is on CNN, which I'm reading from, and he said he walked into the store and fired multiple shots at Stallard, who was the first man he killed. And then as he left, he fired a fatal shot at Jones, which is the second woman. And this article says that an unnamed armed citizen exchanged gunfire with him, but neither was struck. And then he fled the scene. And then he was captured alive. But from what I saw this morning I was on Twitter, I saw like the man who confronted the shooter. He said that the man pulled his gun out and said, "I'm not going to shoot you because white people don't kill white people." So he randomly killed two black people who were unarmed, old people. And when he came across a white person who had a gun, he just said, I'm not gonna shoot you because you're white."
But they don't have no motive.
Yeah, to me, that's motive enough right there. But this article here doesn't mention anything about that. So, I don't know if CNN doesn't want to report on that, but the crazy thing is when I watched the interview, the man says, the man says, my father told me that the man said white people don't kill white people, and the reporter said, "Excuse me, what did you say again?" He said white people don't kill white people. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And then the lady's like, "Oh, so how's your dad?" Like she didn't want to touch that whole thing. And I'm like, no, like ask a fucking follow-up question. Like I understand it's uncomfortable, but you're a reporter. And follow up on that question, on that response.
Everybody's scared to like have these conversations, but they know it's what they need to report on. But it's almost like if she had said anything the air quote wrong way, now she could have been a bad guy or whatever, right? Because of this atmosphere around like all these conversations around race. I think people have to stop being scared. I mean, I do agree with you that she should have went into it deeper, but I think everybody's like so scared right now that like where are they learning how to have appropriate conversation?
So what do you mean by scared? Scared of what?
Scared of any type of backlash if anything's said wrong. Like how do they learn exactly what said that is wrong and they need to change their way of thinking? Or how do they know like making sure they say things in the right way if they have the right intentions?
But with that question, right, when he says he said white people don't kill white people, all she had to say was, "Oh, so do you think this shooting was racially motivated?" And he could have expounded on what he meant. But
right,
she changed the subject.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you don't want to say anything, then you let whoever it is that you're interviewing say it. Right.
Ask them the questions.
Right. Because when somebody gets mad at you, I just ask a question. Right. Like my job is to ask questions as a reporter, as a journalist. I ask questions and then people answer whatever they give me as an answer is whatever they gave me. But I didn't, whatever. I'm not biased, or I didn't put myself into the story, whatever the fuck it is that you have to say about any of that stuff. Speaking of journalists, and I use that term very loosely for our next topic, your girl Megyn Kelly getting fired out this bitch. Megyn Kelly is working at NBC. A couple of days ago, she did a panel, quote unquote, talking about blackface with nothing but white people. And she was trying to, I feel like this shit happens every Halloween. Like every Halloween, some white person gets on TV and tries to explain why blackface, quote, isn't a big deal, unquote. Yeah. And I watched the clip and I was trying to figure out what exactly it was that she was doing or what she was attempting to do. Because she was basically saying,
back in my day,
like being blackface and blending in blackface was okay. And there was another woman who was talking and it was like, like I didn't like her point, but I understood what she was trying to do. She was saying, like whatever happened to common decency, like, you don't dress up as a Nazi, like, like if you do that, people will respond in a way that, that an appropriate way, or whatever. She's like, my son dressed up as a fireman and he wanted to carry an axe and he just carried the axe the whole week. Like there's like a certain amount of like, I don't want to say like, she's trying to say like a certain amount of like social something. Like the social behavior, like there's certain things that we accept at the time that we accept them, but outside of that context, we shouldn't accept them. But blackface is one of those things where like even you already know that it's wrong, so you shouldn't do it. And Megyn Kelly basically kept trying to justify or soften the idiocy of blackface. And then NBC was like, you know what, we're fed up. We are going to they're basically saying they're going to take her off the air. And they're probably going to get rid of her show and they're probably going to fire her, which them firing her don't really mean shit because she got a $69 million contract. I think she's only in the first or second year. So they still going to have to pay like $50 million probably at least.
That's what they get though. They knew who Megyn Kelly was when they hired her.
That was basically what I was finna say next.
And that's what I agree with as well. I think that at the beginning they calculated the ratings they could be getting with this type of angle she brings and has always brought to the table. And they calculated that versus what kind of backlash they could get. And if that gets them more ratings versus how much they would have to pay her, like if something that bad happened.
Her ratings have been trash though.
Right. So the bet hasn't paid off. And what's particularly, well, not particularly ridiculous because they do this shit all the time. Tamron Hall and was it Al Roker? Tamron Hall and Al Roker had that slot before they hired Megyn Kelly. So they basically fired two black people to give this one white woman $70 million, and the show didn't work out, and now they're about to fire her. And I read something, I believe it was on CNN, saying that her show wasn't as profitable as Al Roker's and Tamron Hall's show, mostly because they paid her so much goddamn money. It's like, yo, y'all already had a good show with Tamron Hall and Al Roker, right? And y'all gave Megyn Kelly $23 million. I'm positive neither Al Roker or Tamron Hall are making that much money. If you already had a good show, you could have easily gave them, I don't know, they could have split the $23 million. Or maybe you could have paid them $23 million.
To get more.
Whatever the case, right? Like you could have, there's a lot of ways that $70 million in 3 years could have gone for the people who were already putting out a good product for your network. And instead you got rid of them and gave them to somebody else who is now failing that you're about to fire. And it's crazy how white people like this always fail upward, right? Like, how do you like come from Fox News and go to NBC and end up making $70 million and losing your job and still getting your rest of your damn money? Like, that's nuts. Tunde.
So Megyn Kelly, like you said, it's white privilege that allows her to do what she's done in her career because she's not good at her job. So she was at Fox News and she always seemed to like shit on women, right? Like and women's rights and like Roe versus Wade, fuck that. Like Republicans should be allowed to basically, have control of women's bodies. And sorry to break it to you, black people, black kids, Santa Claus is white. She can say whatever she wants to say, right? But, well, just as far as women's rights. And then she herself feels sexual harassment from Bill O'Reilly, who is a piece of shit. But now all of a sudden it's, hey, what about my women's rights? When it's like, fuck everyone's women's rights. And then she leaves and then fucking NBC hires her. And then I know you don't give somebody $70 million without, doing a background check on them. I would hope not. Like I couldn't get hired for $40,000 without somebody doing a background check on me and then seeing like what type of person I am. Like every job I've ever had, like they do a criminal background check. I come in and they interview me. So I'm sure they did the same thing with Megyn Kelly. They just didn't care because, she's a white woman and, that's who they wanted as the face of their morning show.
Right.
I mean, they wanted to bring more conservatives in because NBC is still the ultimate bad guy in this case as well, because they have whole groups of people who do pre-production for these shows. There's not a conversation they're having on this show that hasn't been approved and like damn near written out and put in front of them. Like they let them have that conversation in the first place with all white people and knowing who some of those white people are.
Well, I think you're right though. Like
it was orchestrated essentially.
They want a conservative face for the show because like just like with the whole since Trump has been in office, it's how do we reach the conservative people of this country, and which is why fucking Roseanne can get fired because she said some racist shit, but you still give everyone on the show basically you rewrite the whole show and just call it something else. Like, I don't know, like what I don't understand why the conservative voice matters so much.
Right. I think what people are actually trying to do is like there's been this narrative of the reason why Trump won in office is because we didn't cater to these people that are on these rural forgotten class of white people that are in the middle of nowhere. So, we need to make sure that we speak to them so that something like this doesn't happen. We need to try. That's why all these New York Times articles and New Yorker articles and like all these different articles about all these especially the New York Times, about these forgotten white people who have been dicked over by America, and now like they're voting out of frustration because they want to tear down the establishment. So that's how Trump got in office. That's basically what the whole Megyn Kelly thing is about, is trying to reach those people, or at least looking like they're trying to reach those people. But it happens with white women. They pretty much get to do whatever they want, and they get maximized protection, occasionally by white men and sometimes by black men, which is how we're getting into Miley Cyrus in our pop culture segment. So I was perusing Twitter earlier today. Such a fancy word. Not really, but I like saying it. And I saw this picture. Bangers Miley is back. And I'm reading this tweet from Music News Fact. Miley Cyrus was recently in the studio with rapper Theophilus London. He says that Miley has some, quote, jams and, quote, bangers on the way. He then confirms that, quote, bangers Miley is really back. Who is ready?
Why did he do that?
I'm not ready.
Does anybody remember what Miley Cyrus said about rap music before she went back to country?
Wait, all right. So before she said that, she had like, I know one song that Miley Cyrus has done. That's that song about Jordans, right? That's her, right? She had a song with Jordans with Juicy J.
Bro, I couldn't pick out Miley Cyrus out of a lineup if you asked me. Like, I don't know anything about Miley Cyrus.
I know she had a song with Jordans with Juicy J. I know she was dry humping on Robin Thicke, and that led to his divorce. That's all I know.
Oh, and then she did that stupid ass shit with the Migos. Remember that shit where she did that fucking dumbass dad? Oh my, that video infuriates me. Oh my God, that shit is so awful. I fucking hate Miley Cyrus. Not like really hate Miley Cyrus, but like kind of hate Miley Cyrus. Here's the quote that I was looking for.
Credit her with twerking?
Yes, they did. And she looks like they used to post pictures of her with a meme. They used to put up a picture up of Miley Cyrus next to some like very raw chicken. very, very awful. So this is the quote that Miley Cyrus had when she was deciding that black culture no longer served her purpose and she was going to try to go back and do country music. This is what she said. But I also love that new Kendrick Lamar song, Humble. She quoted, "Show me something natural like some ass with some stretch marks. I love that because it's not, quote, come sit on my dick, suck my cock. I can't listen to that anymore." Right?
And everybody was like, didn't you have a plastic dick as part of your stage? And
she was like dressed up as a vagina or something like that.
Right. Like, what is her problem?
So this Theophilus London, I know like a little bit about Theophilus London, but I also get him mixed up like Thelonious Monk because those names sound like remarkably similar. I'm just trying to figure out like when she says stuff like that, like that don't fuck with your mind to be in the studio with her thinking like, bro, she's only using you because you serve her purpose. And like once
are you using her trying to serve your purpose too?
like, we ain't got no standards, no kind of
Wait. What purpose is she serving for him?
to mainstream relevance, I guess.
I mean, she does have a lot of fans too. I mean, that's all I'm saying is like
people aren't about to cross over and listen to Theophilus.
Wait, y'all both talking at the same time.
My bad. I was saying most white people aren't about to cross over and pick up a Theophilus London, whatever his name is. Yeah, they're about to go look for him. They're not about to go to iTunes and search his name and start listening to his shit.
Lex?
I don't know. Maybe not, but I mean, I don't know. We always keep seeing everybody wants to invite somebody to the cookout as soon as they do any little thing. So I thought he was supposed to be like woke. Well, I take that back because the woke ones are the ones who goalpost move all day, every day.
I don't understand. And while we're on the topic of like people using the culture to their own benefit, it's nigga Post Malone, right? So Post Malone is like, I don't know. This whole Post Malone thing is remarkably similar to Miley Cyrus in a sense of like white people using black culture to whatever benefit is of their own, and then coming back and being like, nah, nigga, I'm good. So Post Malone did an interview with Hits Daily Double, and I'm reading the article from DJ Booth. I'm reading the quote from DJ Booth. So in a new interview with Hits Daily Double, Post Malone, frequently critiqued for co-opting black culture, suggested that genres simply do not exist anymore. Post Malone says, I like everything: metal, old country, hip hop, funk, and R&B. What I'm not into is boxes. I don't put people in boxes. There are no genres anymore. If a song makes you feel nice or it makes you feel sad, or if it makes you feel anything, what does it really matter what that category is? And I'm really just like, are you kidding me right now?
Everybody's trying to benefit off of it and then erase it. And it's like they don't realize that's what they're doing.
It's like, okay, I'm making a conscious effort to ingratiate myself into a black form of expression. And now that I am here, I am going to determine that there are no more labels. I make whatever kind of music that I want. Don't box me in. There are no genres. And I'm just like, but you don't get to make that call, bro. You just got here.
Like, who is you?
Like, I'm trying to see. So if there's no genres, right? So the major like music award shows, well, how come we don't see more black people up there if there's no genres, and if everyone's just making just whatever makes them feel good? I don't understand.
Yeah, because if it was just based on what's popular, then it would just be all us anyway.
Yeah. So obviously there are genres for a reason, and the people who make the most popular music, like, they don't get recognized hardly enough. So fuck what Post Malone's talking about. Like, I don't even know who the fuck is Post Malone? I'm sorry. Like, what song does he make? Like,
I think I did hear one song, and it actually was a little bit fire.
The Rockstar song?
Maybe that was. It sounded like an old Wiz Khalifa song. To be perfectly honest with you, like, it sounded like the exact kind of music that Wiz Khalifa used to make before he started making whatever bullshit he making now. I just don't understand like this need to include white people and shit. And then while we're including them, they are actively erasing this very thing that is centered to your career or a part of you or a part of our culture. Like, I don't understand it. I was Wale posted this this screenshot of somebody writing about rap, and I believe it was in GQ, and they were talking about the 2009 XXL freshman list. I know that 2009 is basically like 40 years ago, right? But it was that list had people like Kid Cudi, Drake, Wale, Wiz Khalifa, Currency, Asher Roth, and like a whole bunch like cats that were like really, really big at that time, and kind of like the first dudes are Mickey Fax and Mickey Fax and Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino. Damn, what's that nigga's name? Charles Hamilton. That's his name.
Yo, right. I haven't heard from him since that time he got beat up.
Punch in the face. Yeah.
Punch in the face,
yeah. That's kind of
I think he retired after that.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the end of your career. But those were guys who kind of really ushered in like the blog era of rap, where like rappers were like, we're about to blow up from like blogs and shit. That's kind of like really like they're kind of like on the front lines for that or whatever. And the writer had wrote some slick shit like he was talking about Kid Cudi being the forefather of alternative rap, which was super fucking ridiculous. But then he put these other people's names in parentheses and was like, let me know when you get done Googling them. And it's like, bro, how do you get paid to write about rap music and rap culture and you making some shit like Google who Mickey Fax is, Google who Wale is, or Currency or Wiz? Are you kidding me? Like, that shit it really irritates my soul. It really irritates my soul.
I mean, Post Malone. I mean,
genres don't exist, man.
Yeah. It's all rap. Rap is the same as country. Country is the same as classical.
Yeah.
Classical is the same as jazz. It's whatever.
No.
But hip hop is an interesting genre that is still evolving. So I feel like within hip hop there is and probably gonna be like multiple kind of genres.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Only ones, yeah. But like,
there's nothing wrong with that. Like, but don't
act like we can't acknowledge it.
Right, like you can if you want to make. I mean, not rap. Rock has what? Classic rock, alt rock, hardcore rock, death metal. Like, I don't know what any of that shit means in the grand scheme of things, right? Because I don't really listen to rock music like that. Like, I like Radiohead and the Foo Fighters and Tame Impala, but I don't know what categories any of that shit fits in. And it doesn't really matter to me because the shit is dope. The shit is dope. But like, I don't go to those spaces and say those categories don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it don't matter because I don't know enough about it to tell the difference. But I'm also don't make rock music for a living and then go tell people that all these rock category labels don't exist, man. It's just music, bro. Whatever makes you feel good makes you feel good, right? Like, I stay in my fucking lane. Rap can be an umbrella, and we can have the same. We can have alternative rap, or we've got the shit. Alternative rap, Christian rap. You know what I'm saying? Hardcore rap, East 90s rap, West Coast rap. Down, like, we have all these different things. And yes, hip rap music is very good about incorporating all of these different, all these different genres of music. That's kind of one of the best things about rap is like, nigga, you can listen to rap music and still listen to like jazz, classical, rock, R&B. Like, all that shit can be fused to make rap music, which is why I enjoy it so much. But acknowledging that you don't get to come in and say the labels don't matter, because rap has traditionally been excluded from all of these different spaces for a really long fucking time. And it's just now that rap is like basically the biggest genre of music in the world now. Like, you don't get to come in and pretend that like these things didn't happen before you, and like, or these things aren't still happening now, because they still do. I don't watch the Grammys. I don't give a fuck about the Grammys, so this is completely beside the point. But like, we don't go to the Grammys and get to compete for album of the year with rap numbers. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's still being excluded in some way. Like,
look at Beyonce. Didn't she lose album of the year to Beck?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Like, Beck, really?
Like, I'll give you Adele.
I wouldn't even give you Adele.
No, Beck? I understand. I understand.
At least Adele, numbers wise, makes sense.
Beck.
My nigga.
I don't know. But genres though. No genres.
Yeah, no genres. No genres. So yeah, I don't really know about that. But to wrap this all up, we're gonna get into our barbershop talk, and we're gonna talk about niggas fighting, which is my favorite topic to talk about.
You're so excited.
I love when niggas fight, B. I'm always going to be here.
There should be more of it.
For a good one-on-one fight. I'm always going to be here for that, particularly in the NBA, because they don't even fight in the NBA no more. So Rondo, the Lakers were playing the Rockets. There was James Harden fouled Brandon Ingram. It looked like Brandon Ingram was upset, shoves James Harden.
I thought the other way around.
That
because Harden was going to the hole. Ingram fouled it. It should have been an and one in my opinion.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm okay, my bad. Harden going to the hole. Ingram fouls Harden. Something happens to Ingram. He was like on the other side of the hooper. That's why I thought he got fouled. But he like shoves James Harden.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then they crowd up, and CP3 and Rondo are standing next to each other. And allegedly, Rondo spit on CP3. And then CP3 put his finger in Rondo's face, and Rondo swung on that nigga, hit that nigga in the face. And then CP3 got his lick back or whatever. But it was brawling a little bit.
And then your boy Ingram came over the top.
Yeah, came over the top with he tried to flush somebody.
Oh man, I loved it.
But what did they say? Chris Paul said to him before he got spit on. Something about a turtle.
He said he like a turtle, and then he said Rondo spit on him, and that's when he started pointing his finger.
Oh yeah, and then
somebody is definitely cause for. Oh wait, he spit on him, and then he hit him first though.
No, Rondo. No, CP3 was like putting the finger in his face.
Oh, the finger. You're right. Nah, he should have got swung on for the spit, honestly.
But I don't know if he spit on him though.
Also in the crowd,
you saw the close up.
Rondo's wife tried to fight CP3's wife, or they got confrontation.
That's how you hold your man down, B. That's how you hold your man down.
No, that's funny. Is there footage of that?
I don't think so. I haven't seen any.
That's one of the reports that I saw. But yeah, that's how you hold your man down. You what? My man beefing where his wife at?
But they've been beefing for years though.
I don't mean they hate each other. We know that.
Oh.
So
I mean, Rondo's a pretty surly motherfucker in general. So
I'm gonna say this. I've used to play with a mouthpiece, right?
You used to play a what?
With a mouthpiece.
Oh.
Like I almost got my tooth knocked out once. So for a couple of years I played with a mouthpiece. And Rondo plays with one too. And sometimes with a mouthpiece, it collects a lot of saliva. Right, which is why sometimes you see like players take it out during a game and like it's kind of like a retainer. And so if someone's right in your face like they were, and you're attempting to say something, sometimes a little bit of spit might fly out. So I don't know if he maliciously intended to obviously he didn't like hog spit on him because you have to like zoom in to see the actual spit come out. But I mean, I don't like CP3 anyway, so.
But you know how sometimes it's like that little squirt thing? I don't know what makes it happen, but every once in a while it just flies out.
Yeah.
but you're right, when they zoomed in though, you could see like a clear
spit never came out of his mouth.
It wasn't like a spray, right? It was a clear, like directed. I think he spit on him.
I don't know if it was directed. I mean, he was like literally right in front of his face.
Well, I think that's the most disrespectful thing you can do to somebody, almost.
Well, I don't like CP3 anyway, so.
Why y'all don't like CP3? He's a good guy.
No, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what the dude, my barber, told me today. He said it to me today, or what he said in the shop. He was like, "I don't condone spitting on people, but of all the people for it to happen to, I'm glad it was CP3 because he's a dirty ass player.
He is.
He's a nut puncher,
and people like Rondo said yesterday when he interviewed him, he was like, ask anyone in the league, people don't like CP3. He's a bad teammate.
Yeah, he's like not a good guy. That's what he said. That words. He's not a good guy.
Now that is the pot calling the kettle black because Rondo's also a dirty player. But I think I don't like CP3 because he's a dirty player, but he has this persona. He has the State Farm commercials and he's with his son, and he's like he tries to come off as a likable guy, but he's just really dirty. I don't know. And then at the beginning of the game, like on a fast break, he laid the ball up on Rondo, and like Rondo fell, and he kind of put his bicep up and flexed on him. I'm like, oh, who are you? Like,
I just don't like CP3. That's all.
You said what?
I just don't like CP3.
I ain't got no beef with CP3.
I can admit that. I don't like him.
Yeah, you just don't like him. Okay.
So I ain't got no beef.
What I do appreciate is that I feel like with the NBA,
wait, are you defending him because he's from North Carolina?
I mean, he's a good guy.
You defend him because he's from North Carolina.
You know him?
I went to school with him. He's a good guy. But I'm just saying, I noticed like you're like, okay, Rondo's an asshole too, but back to CP3, like you just don't like CP3, which is fine.
I mean, I don't like to be honest. I don't like either player, to be honest.
That's fine, but I just still think CP3 should have swung. But also,
he did swing. You said
after, no.
Oh, you talking after? Oh, yeah.
But I do appreciate that they fought. I like shit like that also. And I do appreciate that in the NBA, I feel like they can do that shit, and whatever the fuck the fine is, everything's gonna be all good. And like nobody's getting cut. Nothing crazy is happening. They didn't even. I feel like I didn't even see any. Oh man, that's why we shouldn't give these niggers money. I didn't see no conversations like that. But I feel like around the NFL, that's what would have happened.
Yeah. All right. Can I bring up a question? So.
No.
Can you ask a question? Or are you gonna bring up a question?
Whatever. So no, after they started swinging, right? LeBron pulls away CP3, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's all fucked up. Like, why would you pull away CP3? Like, he's Ron's teammate." I'm like, "Okay, that's his best friend. They're like godfather to each other's kids. I understand that, right?" But Melo, he kind of pulled away Brandon Ingram, right? I'm like, if I'm standing there, right, my man's got in the fight, and some dude comes over the top and tries to throw a haymaker while he's not looking, I'm not gonna try to break it up. I'm swinging too. So I think Melo was a hoe for that.
I mean, Melo just got there. He trying to get his money. He trying to keep his money. Well, I mean, he getting paid $23 million.
No. You forget, like CP3, Melo, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron are all like 4 best friends. Brandon Ingram threw a haymaker over the top and tried to.
Yeah, he's trying to kill that nigga.
Like, that's your man.
Kill that nigga.
I guess you're a man, and you just like kind of pull him off, like, nah, man, chill. I'm taking 5 games, or whatever the suspension is. Like, I'm following up, but that's just me. I don't know. I think Melo was a hoe for that.
Yeah. And then James Harden was nowhere to be found. He's all the way on the other side of the court. Being the whole nigga that he is.
So you don't like James Harden?
No, I never liked James Harden. Have you ever heard me talk about James Harden before?
No,
I don't like.
Who do you like?
Who do I like?
Yeah, who are your favorites?
In what?
Just the NBA as far as just players.
Oh,
not based off their skill, but just like who you kind of like, root for, whatever.
Not based on their skills, like who I like.
I mean, it can be, but also like.
I mean, I like KD. I like Steph. I like Giannis. I like Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the niggas that everybody else like. I like those niggas. You know what I'm saying? I don't like CP3 because he's a nut punching asshole. Like, stop grabbing niggas' nuts. What's wrong with you? Why are you always touching somebody's nuts? Why are you doing that? Why are you like everything? There's a video of CP3 like literally like grabbing on niggas. Why? Why are you doing this? It's basketball.
Video?
It's basketball, dog. You shouldn't be grabbing niggas' nuts like that. I don't like James Harden because I don't like the way he plays basketball. He's a flopping bitch. And this nigga don't do nothing. He shoot threes and he drives to the rim and he do his little Euro step. I think the Euro step is actually pretty dope. But like, I hate his game. Like, this nigga shoots like 29 free throws. I hate watching that nigga play basketball. I really do. And like,
so disgusted too.
I am disgusted because that's how they lost the fucking Western Conference Finals last year. Like, nigga, why is you shooting 29 threes in a row when you miss it? You're supposed to be the leader of the team. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the exact moment I stopped liking James Harden. I stopped liking James Harden when I used to be an OKC fan, and this nigga showed up with 5 points in the fucking NBA Finals and shit. I said, "Oh, I hate this nigga. Absolutely hate this nigga already. I haven't liked that nigga since. Right? Don't like him. I had no problem with Melo. You said what?
Like KD though?
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care if it makes any sense. I definitely don't care if it's hypocritical. I just put that out there and be very clear.
Yeah, he definitely shrunk against. They're up 3-1 and he shrunk. So let's just put it out there.
I don't care.
All right.
That's fine. It's everything's Russell Westbrook's fault. So that's cool with me too. So
Okay.
I definitely like. Don't hit me with no fly shit talking about, oh nigga, how you hate James Harden like KD. 2-time NBA championship, 2-time finals MVP. That's all I have to say about that shit.
No
pressure. Dick if you don't like anything else. I don't care. I don't care if there's no pressure, nigga. I don't go to work for pressure.
Easy.
Ain't what I go to work for.
Don't blame LeBron for it then.
I never blamed LeBron for going to Miami.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying. I'm
y'all having the real barbershop talk for real, right?
No, I never blamed LeBron for going to Miami. That was just who? Did you see that Cleveland Cavaliers? Did you see the Cleveland Cavaliers team? I can't even talk right now. I'm so goddamn upset.
I saw it.
Right, so I didn't have no problem. I didn't have no problem with Braun going to Miami. I don't have no problem with KD going to the Warriors. I don't have no problem with DeMarcus Cousins going to the Warriors. I don't have no.
He's gonna leave anyway.
In a league where everybody is always talking about your legacy in terms of rings, rings. How many rings did you win? Where they treat Tracy McGrady like shit on national TV because he wanted to hold a championship ring, and somebody was like, nah, nigga, get your own. I don't care how they go about getting rings. I hope Golden State wins the next 25 NBA championships so people can say, well, rings don't matter anymore. And then we can never have that conversation again. That'd be perfectly fine with me.
Oh, we will.
It's fine.
Not me. I don't care about rings, so.
It's fine. Lex, you just look over there looking crazy as hell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm calm now.
That's okay.
So fuck CP3, fuck James Harden. And that's how we're gonna end the podcast.
But wait, you know who we're not gonna fuck? Well, wait, that sounds weird.
Wow. But... what are you talking about right now?
Wait, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Thomas Thompson IV, who donated to NWAP Cast. Shout out to you. Thank you. Everybody else, we would appreciate if you donated to us so we can pay for our hosting every month and keep bringing you this heat and this barbershop talk about all these players that Garfield does not like.
Wow. That's how you gonna do me? I thought we were friends.
Nah, it's awesome. And what I want to say also is I don't appreciate that you did mention you just went to the barbershop today and yet you're sitting in the dark and I didn't even get to see your hairline today. Usually I would have complimented it, but I can't see you.
Well, it's dark over here. I'm sorry that it's 7 o'clock here and 4 o'clock in California.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. And with that said, we'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, niggas. Oops, as if I can't find the stop button.